At the start of COP30, Brazil revealed their plan to protect rainforests.
Seremos inspirados pelos povos indígenas e pelas comunidades tradicionais.
It's called the Tropical Forest Forever Facility, or TFFF, and would basically pay countries to leave trees alone. Think of it as a paycheck for nature. If a country reduces deforestation, it earns money. But if forest loss increases, the payments shrink or stop entirely. This model already worked once, when Brazil's Amazon Fund cut deforestation by 60% between 2008 and 2017. Norway paid Brazil about $1 billion in rewards, but when tree loss later spiked, the payment stopped. The new arrangement potentially has huge benefits. Forests already absorb a quarter of the carbon we emit, but the countries protecting them are often among the poorest. So the facility would help make conservation profitable, not costly. And here's how they say it would work. Funds would come from rich nations and private investors, the same ones responsible for emissions. The aim is to raise $25 billion from governments and philanthropies and attract another $100 billion more from private investors. Forest nations would earn steady income, and local communities, including indigenous people, would gain jobs and funding for forest protection. Over $5 billion have already been pledged and dozens of countries have endorsed it. Brazil was the first when it announced a $1 billion investment to kick off the fund. But some NGOs argue the TFFF still prioritizes financial returns over community rights. In other words, they warn this could all end up turning forests into assets rather than protecting people. They're also concerned over how transparent the payments will be, which monitoring systems would be used, and how indigenous people's involvement would actually work. So the plans on paper and the pledges sound good, but it's hard not to be wary. Rich nations aren't exactly rushing to give, and history reminds us they've broken bigger climate promises before.